Very good evening. So just give me a moment. I'll share my screen. So yesterday we were somewhere here near the hoist. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll just take a quick recap. So yesterday we have seen IS 14489. It is the one of the tool or one of the audit checklist we can use to monitor or assess, evaluate the performance, or also the occupational health and safety management system or implementation or etc. etc. So it is an overall tool we can use for multiple purposes. In that sort, we have seen safety policy and committee, the safe systems in workplace, and we have seen housekeeping and storage of materials. Then we have seen machine guarding as well. Now we are discussing about maintenance of equipments. We have seen hoist and lift yesterday. So we continue with 6.2, which is lifting devices. So as we know, as per the Factories Act, Section 28, there we have to conduct calibration by the third party, all the lifting tools and tackles once in 12 months. And also every lifting device stamping with the safe working load and also dating of the testing. So dating of the testing will be, we can maintain in the tag. Otherwise, every lifting tools and tackles, definitely it will have the safe working load. For example, if you see a D-shackle, or if you see any eye bolt, or if you see any chain sling or wire rope sling or web sling, definitely it will have its safe working load, SWL marking. We should not exceed the safe working load. And records are maintained. So records of what? So once you got the all the tools into the usage from the store, so you should maintain a tracker, or you should give the identification number. So it is easy for us to track the condition of each lifting tools and tackles. Then also during the discarding process also, it is easy for us to identification and discarding. For example, sometimes it is become a difficult task. If you see in a major sectors or any construction company where they'll have hundreds of D-shackles, for them it is so difficult. Sometimes they will do engraving on the D-shackle or on the tool itself, or sometimes they will put the metallic tags over the D-shackle. So for each tools and tackles, we should maintain a record when it has been calibrated. Those reports to be filed properly, and also we have to maintain the due dates for the inspection as well. Do all the operators know how to operate the equipment safely? So it is also important that, for example, we have Hydra, or we have EOT cranes, we'll have jib cranes. So all these the lifting devices or lifting equipment, whether the operators are trained or not, it is also supposed to be ensured every time. Then revolving machinery. So it is about, again, the maximum speed of the peripheral speed. So it is basically for, especially in the portable tools, or especially for the grinding machines, it is so important that sometimes we may fix with the less RPM, the wheels, to the high RPM grinding machines or cutting machines, which is dangerous. So always the wheel speed, which is matches the tool RPM, or which should be above the tool RPM. And the speed of the shaft. So the shaft, in the sense, it will have multiple shafts, is in a common question. And diameter of the pulley and protective face shield. Protective face shield, in the sense, guard over the pulleys. It has to be checked every time. Then pressure vessels. So anybody can give example. I mean, what is the difference between a pressure vessel and a cylinder, gas cylinder?
Pressure vessels are accumulators, sir.
Now, what is the basic difference?
Pressure vessel has a PSV and cylinders doesn't have.
PSV, pressure relief valve. Okay.
Safety valve, pressure safety valve. If pressure is
Okay.
excessive, it will be released. But
Yeah.
in cylinder, there is nothing like that.
Okay, that is one. I mean, one point of. I mean, okay, distinguishing. I mean, differentiating each. Any other?
Yeah, it's a difference of category of pressure. 15 psi and up to 150,000 psi.
Sir, pressure
Other
vessel
than we
using
call it
gas. Nitrogen
Mhm.
gas is using na pressure vessels. Like
So in pressure vessel, I think any gas can be used. So basically, if you see a basic, the fundamental difference is if I say cylinder, it have a capacity of 500 ml to below 1,000 liter. That is called a pressure vessel. Sorry, cylinder. If I say a pressure vessel, it may be whatever in the shape. The volumetric capacity, which is above 1,000 liters. Those are the basic difference of pressure vessel and gas cylinder. So as you mentioned, so the cylinder, it doesn't have safety relief valve. The pressure vessels will have a safety relief valve. But basically, the fundamental difference is always gas cylinders have the capacity below 1,000 liters. And all the pressure vessels will be above 1,000 liters. That is the basic fundamental difference. Okay, great. Fine. So again, so pressure vessels also, it has to be undergone through the competent person inspections. Externally, we do once in 6 months, and internally once in 12 months. Then hydraulic test or hydrostatic test we'll do 4 years, and ultrasonic test once in 4 years. In basically in once in 6 months also they used to do this UT. They see the shell thickness and also the sidewall thickness of the pressure vessels, which is done by the third party. And also we have to, yeah.
Sir, above 1000 liter, the pressure
Mm.
vessel hydro testing is possible to every time. Can factory will be provide there? Maybe you can check the NDT and decide the pipe thickness. It is possible to every 4 years we can check the hydraulic state for above 1000 liter pressure vessel.
It is mandatory, sir. We have to do. Otherwise, how you'll understand?
But sir, in our pipeline, we have pressure vessels which are being used continuously.
Okay.
So recently we have conducted NDT testing instead of hydraulic test.
Okay.
So
Because
that's why my question is,
doing
any
hydraulic
notification
Any-
can.
Yeah, please.
Please.
One can speak.
doing
Srinivas,
hydraulic test, sir, doing hydraulic test is not always possible for our pipeline. इतना compressor stations के लिए.
due to practical difficulties.
Yeah, continuous flow of gas is there, na, in the pipeline.
Okay, so that's why in NDT, what test you performed?
We'll do DPT,
Okay.
MPT, and ultrasonic flow detection.
But DPT, it will not penetrate to the complete thickness of the pipe, right? It will go
Not
maximum 3 mm,
completely.
3 mm
DPT
thickness.
not, sir.
Actually, not all the welding joints. Some of the
Uh-huh.
joints which we can do DPT, we are performing DPT, and
Okay.
based on the applicability, like
Okay.
butt
Okay.
joints and different types of welding joints will be there, na?
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the applicability, we are going for the tests.
Okay, because this DPT and all, it will maximum go to 3 mm. I mean,
Yes, yes.
thickness.
Sir,
So over and above, if it is there any damages, it will not able to detect actually.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We monitor the above ground pipelines only. The above ground pipeline, we can check the thickness test.
Yeah. For this all and all, we can do above ground only. Underground, we can't perform anything such kind of test.
Sir, we can check the pipeline thickness, some circumference area of the pressure vessel for every time. Then after
Okay.
2 years, 1 year, same location, once again we have check. whether
Okay.
and check the whether there is any changes happen or any thickness impact like that.
Even with the UT also, you'll understand the thickness difference. Maybe if it is something, I mean, fishy, we can go for hydraulic also. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Sir, my question is,
Yeah.
any legal document, any notification from the government, whether central government or state government, if it is not possible to hydro testing for 4 years, then you can go through NDDT. It is any standard.
Such exemptions I have not seen. If you allow me, I'll refer and I can come back to you. I mean, Mister.
Sure.
Yeah, because as per my knowledge, I have not seen such an exemptions, but I have to refer. But definitely, I'll come back to you on
Sure.
that. Yeah. Thanks.
सर इवन फैक्ट्रीज बुक में भी ये सभी चीजें लिखा हुआ है, मैंडेटरी है सीमा रूल्स में.
हाँ, ये तो लिखा हुआ है, but as you mentioned, hence it is in a continuous operations. For example, even in COVID situations also, there are some industries they have given permission to run where they have export-oriented situations or what do you call continuous operations, such kind of maybe there may be some line they will be there. Wherever there is a law, definitely there will be some loophole. We'll look into it, how it is being defined.
Yes
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
I think they are taking some exemption for this. That's why continuous operation, no? So pressure vessels testing is not
Yeah.
possible during all the times. So some exemption might be in place.
That we have to see whether it is really there or additionally the operations. I mean, the organizations is approaching the inspector of factories for such exemptions by putting any special letters, etc. In the law, it is there or not, I have to check. But as per my knowledge, I have not seen any such exemptions actually. Good. So again, maximum safe working pressure and date of examinations. There will definitely will have on each pressure vessel, the nameplate will be there. So what is the working pressure and design pressure and test pressures. So accordingly, we'll follow all the test and operation. Then all the pressure reducing vessels and associated relief valves set in accordance with the specifications are tested on regularly. So this is about we are discussing safety relief valves and pressure release valves, etc. And those relief valves also undergo to the testing. Basically, I think if I'm not wrong, definitely you'll have test centers for this in your facility itself, because basically there we create one manifold with the compressed air. There itself they do testing, or else they're taking away from your facility. Pipeline infra, anybody can. How you are doing it for the safety relief valves?
We have vendors, sir. He will come every years and check each and everything. Having
They
1 year.
They do in your facility itself, or they'll take...
in our facility, sir. In our facility.
Okay. So same like as I said, you have a manifold for the testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
They have the bring their own equipment and related whatever tools they require, they bring with us.
Okay, fine. So basically, in the pharmaceutical companies, I have seen they make one separate provision for that. They'll create one manifold, and there itself they do the testing. Because all the third-party companies may not have, or they are not able to accommodate all the test equipments for the locations. So they suggest you can make your own. Test kit. I mean, kit in the sense it's such only one pipeline setup to build such a pressure to test the effectiveness of
vendor is bringing on these manifolds.
Okay.
And if any defect in there in between, then we send to his workshop.
Okay. If the vendor is coming with the manifold, are you people are taking the test pressure of that manifold itself? Are you checking any calibration of that manifold?
Actually, there is a pressure gauge, calibrated pressure gauge available on that.
Is there on that? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Fine.
And some of the Reliance manufacturing site has these facilities to check the calibration or the replacement or any fault or any leakage is there to
Yeah.
repair. The repair facilities available in Reliance
Yeah, to be
manufacturing.
frank, for that manifold also they have to do all this UT and all, because it is also in weld jointed part. It also has to be gone through all these tests. Okay, good. So all the lathes and the drills fitted with the safety cutouts, it's nothing but the cards, lathe machines and drill machines. All the tools properly maintained. It is about how you are maintaining the tools in a proper manner, and storage, usage. Then all the ladders properly identified and maintained. This is also important that it is good to have even ladders also having identification number in part of inspection or in part of maintaining in good condition. Then all safety harnesses are properly identified and maintained. Safety harness is nothing but full body harness or safety belt. So for them also, we should have identification number. That identification number should be displayed or tagged on the safety belt, and we have to maintain the records of it in case of any damage to any D-shackle or buckles or line add or the clips. So whenever discarding, we can refer always these records. And the routine planned maintenance of the plant properly carried out and promptly and properly. So it is about the regular maintenance, how you are planning it. It is about PM, and also sometimes we do accidental maintenance or breakdown maintenance, etc., etc. Then electrical equipment. So all the hazardous area are planned adequately bounded. So there we do zone classification, zone 0, zone 1, and zone 2. So anybody can give examples, zone 0, zone 1, zone 2.
Yeah, zone 0 is where continuous there is explosive mixture is present.
Yeah, the continuous presence of the flammable or explosive, and also I can say harmful or hazardous material which will be there always. Zone
Yes.
1, very good.
Zone 1 is occasionally.
Occasionally, in case of any operational failures. And zone 2?
Zone 2 is frequency will be very, very less.
The frequency will be very, very less in the sense, in case of any accident happens,
Yes.
then there is a
Malfunction.
malfunction of system or failure. In such cases, there it creates a hazardous atmosphere or dangerous atmosphere or situation. Then all the building fittings or lightning conductors in the connectivity, earthing, and bonding checked regularly. It is about the lightning arresters to take the to take all the lightning energy which is captured by these arresters properly, instead of impacting the structure or any property. Then the resistance of earth will be below 10 ohms. It is periodically checked and recorded. And even for this also, we have a legal requirement. And once in 3 months, all the earth pits has to be tested by the third party. Are we doing it? Or how it is happening? And the companies, they used to do once in a month. But
Yeah,
quarterly,
resistance is
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And the pit adequacy test will be conducted, sir.
Yes, very good. And even it should be good that we should have adequate marking. But sometimes the earth pits I could see on the roads, there it is not possible to have the
That is
marking.
Sir,
But
one more thing.
Yeah.
For particularly lightning related, separate earth pit shall be there. It should not
Yes.
it shall not be connected
It
to the
should
plant.
not be, yes, it should not be linked with any other. It should have dedicated earth pit. Yes, true. It should not be connected at any mission or any building or any shared earth pits. And all electrical cables, motors protected against the accidental mechanical damage. Then all the cables, switches, fused distribution boards properly identified. It is about identification number. And also we used to have a single line diagram and distribution diagram, how you have defined it. and emergency lighting properly installed, it is tested at the approved frequency. So installation emergency lighting. Where and all we used to cover this emergency lighting?
Control rooms.
Basically in the control
Basic
rooms and
supply.
also emergency escape routes. This must be covered. Sometimes what will happen, there is a big shed. They used to have two emergency lights, one in the entrance, one in the last. What about people who are there in the middle of the shed? The shed length is almost 300 meters or 400 meters length. So definitely we'll have emergency exits as per the NBC, National Building Code, for every 40 meters or 25 meters based on the type of the industry or based on the hazard characteristics of the industry. So accordingly, for each emergency exit as well as emergency escape routes must be equipped with emergency lighting, and also it has to be tested. So sometimes what will happen, I think in latest I have seen the emergency lighting minimum it should illuminate for 60 minutes. So are we doing such testing? Whether it is capable to whatever the inverter setup we have with emergency lighting, it is capable to illuminate the complete area for 60 minutes.
Sir, we have
Time
bad.
checking नहीं कर पाएंगे sir, but we are checking when power blackout occurs, whether
When
lighting is
power blackout occurs, it will definitely it will glow.
Yes.
But are we doing for
No,
whether
for
it is
1
able
hour
to?
we are not conducting such tests for one hour test.
Okay, because in the recently I have done one of the audit for the one of the big petrochemical company in their R&D center. That is the one requirement. They also had the same point. They are definitely testing it, and it is activating, but they are not doing testing for that 1 hour. That is the one requirement. Okay, yeah.
Sir, this is mandatory as per law?
As per the NBC National Building Code, it has to be tested for 60 minutes. In the sense, it should capable to glow for minimum 60 minutes.
Okay.
National Building Code. Yeah. Fine. So adequate safety procedures exist for the working of electrical equipments, like how to handle the switch gears or power stations or substations, how you are handling it. And all electrically operated tools provided with the ELCBs and earth leakage circuit breakers, even RCCBs, different kinds of breakers are coming now. So adequate breaker should be there in case of any malfunction or any leakage or any short circuit happens. It should able to cut off the supply. And then the emergency power provided as the each piece of equipment being considered for adequate earthing. So earthing has to be connected for each equipment. Is the equipment fail safe and also even in the power failure. So fail safe in the sense, I can give a generic example. For example, especially in the lifts where we have high-rise buildings, what will happen in case of power failure happens? They will have dedicated programming. Either it will come to the ground floor and it will open the doors. Even though it is power failure also, it is a fail safe system. It fails also, it is safe. It will come to the ground floor and will just open the doors so the people can come out happily. All the transformers are located remote from the hazardous area and also protected from the fire exposures. So how will protect from fire exposures? Transformers.
Building firewalls.
Okay.
Drainage pits.
Okay.
Sir.
And also we'll ensure that
providing a foam type portable fire extinguishers.
Yes, we'll also ensure that there should not be any vegetation, because it is a remote place. Definitely there will be chance of vegetation. We'll also make sure that there is no vegetation in the transformer yards. All the equipment for the transformers and also electrical substations, it is provided or not, we have to ensure, and also all the sumps provided near all the transformers in case of any leakage or failure happens. All insulated rubber matting provided on the floor for operating HT, high tension LT electrical switch gears. Even rubber mats, are we doing testing?
Yes, testing.
Yes. Sir, one more. Sir, I have one question regarding some provided near all transformer means.
Some provided basically where we used to have the transformer over the ground. I mean, we'll made a one kind of slab kind of thing structure. Over that we'll have a transformer. So definitely we'll have transformer oil inside. Around that we'll have a pit. We'll fill with some stones. In case of any leakage, in case of any explosion happens, that oil should be collected in that sump itself. That is for.
Sir, it should be mandatory for everywhere as per
Yes.
law.
It's
Because
mandatory
in
for there are two types of
in
setup. There
government
are two
place,
types of
Yeah,
setup
as per
actually.
CAG inspection, it is mandatory, sir, actually.
It is two types of setup actually. So basically, if you do in-house, definitely they do. If it is in outdoor, I didn't see such a requirement.
that's
In-house
why
transformers, in-house
uh,
transformers definitely they do have a pit.
in public place also we have seen so many times some transformer is there, but there is no such type of pit. And
That's what I'm mentioning.
even though in industry also,
It's
Yeah,
based
that's what
on
I'm
rating,
mentioning.
sir. Actually, it's based on rating. If it is more rating and it
that is
contains
also
more
is there.
oil.
Yes. It's based on rating and also it's based on where you are installing. It is in outdoor installations or indoor installations.
but that's mean it is not mandatory in our industry. In Europe, PIL, there is no such type of any sump. That's why I'm asking this
That
question.
we have to see the capacity, whether you're falling under such elements.
More than 10 MVA, more than 10 MVA required, sir, actually.
More than 10 MVA.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Power rating of the transformer.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Babu.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then material handling and storage. So again, are the operators are trained in handling and dispensing of materials? So here it is a generic question. So what kind of materials we are handling, whether it is liquids or gases or semi-solids or solids, whether it is in a blocks or it is in the form of any packaging, how it is being there, whether the people are trying to handle such materials, loading and unloading, stacking and unstacking, etc. And PPEs, personal protective equipment provided during such handling and dispensing. So whether we have given the required PPEs, it is not a sufficient or suitable PPEs. This is very important. So whatever the activity they are performing, they should have the a suitable PPE. All the pallet trucks are used for the transporting heavy and bulky goods. So based on the material, whether we have the tools, pallet trucks, hand pallet jack, or any forklift or any other sort of equipment is there to handle such heavy loads, and are the forklift drivers trained regularly. So on do's and don'ts, how to operate in a forklift, and also we have to check the condition of the forklift in the reverse alarm is there or not, whether the seat belt interlock. Now I have seen the new forklifts which are coming with the seat belt interlock. Until unless operator is not having wearing the seat belt, it is not going to start. And also emergency, marking a safe zone with the around the forklift. They used to have a square box line around the forklift. That is the safest approach with the forklift. Then manual handling is necessary. Have the operators been trained with the kinetic handling? So it is about how to lift the weight. So in this, we have a dedicated topic itself, manual material handling and mechanical material handling. There we'll discuss more in detail. And all the material stacked systematically and as per their compatibility. As we seen yesterday, the compatibility, we have to check the comfort of the materials, in the sense how safe they are if you are storing nearby or near the vicinity or close by. And definitely, while checking the compatibility, we should not believe on our own knowledge. We have to believe on the only the manufacturer or the supplier who is supplying the material. He is responsible to give such a sort of a kind of information for which materials it is compatible, for which kind of materials which is incompatible. All the containers are properly labeled and protected. This is also very important. So whatever the containers you are using for storing of materials, it must be labeled or it must be having identification. What is there inside that container? And also it is protected from any damage or from fall protection, etc. And all the aisles are free, clear from movement of men and the forklift. So we should not use aisles as a storage. So it should be always clear from obstructions for the free movement of the humans and forklift. So if I say men, women may fight with me. Why is there only men? Women always working. So always it should be free for humans and a forklift. Then solvent storage or the solvent tanks are properly bonded and provided with the emergency venting devices. So bonding means what? What is bonded? Bonded is nothing but it is a friendship band. So all the solvent tanks should have a friendship band for what? For the static electricity. So that is the
Is it
friendship
with
band.
is it with the jumpers, like
Yeah, that is
connecting
the connecting
one
jumpers. Yes. For the even for the pipelines, we used to have the jumpers for the better connectivity. Sometimes we used to use the Teflon coated what do you call in between the flange we use, right? I'm not able to get that. Gland, not a gland, not a gland.
Okay.
Seal, not
Sir,
a seal
one
also.
in a gas service, is it necessary if a metallic gasket is there in between two flanges?
If
Is
it
it
is metallic
necessary for
gasket is metallic gasket is there, it is not required.
jumper is not required as per
Jumper
law?
is not. Jumper is not. Whenever you use the Teflon or rubber gaskets, there is a chance of disconnectivity or continuity issues. There we use these jumpers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is basically related to liquids handling when there is a transfer of product from
Not only liquids, even gases also.
IJs, insulation joints.
Yeah. No, the
And such
IGC is for above ground and underground piping connections when there is any change.
Sorry, I didn't understand IGC, what you're talking about.
Insulation joint.
They are talking about insulation joint. Basically, insulation joint is provided to separate out the system of cathodic protection. We have our pipeline is cathodically protected. It is having some current to protect from corrosion.
Correct.
So whatever above ground equipments are there, it should not drain out through that system. So we are putting insulating joint. But that is different. But other than flow pipelines and tanks, even we have condenser storage tanks. So there we have bonding. Pipings, flanges, we have bonding. So that static electricity can be drained.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Or the solvent tanks bonded as to contain the 110% contents of the leakage tank. It is about the bund wall, which is constructed around the solvent tanks in case of a tank eruption or any damage happens. It should able to contain the total capacity of the liquids. Or the bunds provided with the drain valves and is the inert gas blanketing system is provided for the solvent tanks. Inert gas, mostly we prefer nitrogen. And all the fireproof cabinets provided for the storage of small quantities of flammable liquids. So where fire cabinets in the sense the hose boxes where we have small kinds of storages, whether we have these cabinets, it is not about only small quantities. All over the plant, definitely we'll have this fire cabinets. For that also we have standards in NBC, minimum within 50 meters, or in case of based on the type of industry, within 5 meters or 10 meters or 25 meters, we should have this fire hydrant line based on the hazard of the industry, categorization of the industry. And have the drainage and spill prevention requirements have been met. So how you are going to control the spills. and how you are going to contain the spills in case of any spillage happens. Then precautions on prevention of a stable charge taken during the loading unloading of the tankers. It is about static electricity, how you are managing the generation and also the discharge of the static electricity which is generated. And I have seen in the few companies, they have a interlocking system. Whenever the earth is not properly connected, the pumps itself, it will not switch on. It is also one of the system. If the earth connectivity is not there, it is not going to start the unloading of the material itself from the tanker to the, from the road tanker to the storage. Is the procedure made for such operations, like for the loading and unloading operations? Do we have any checkpoints, or do we have any process to follow while doing such operations? That is about the solvents.
For
Yeah.
some
Yes,
equipment, if earth leakage occurs, based on the fault of earth leakage, equipment gets stripped. वैसा हमारा गैस पाइपलाइन में है equipments का.
Okay, great.
MCB will get stripped.
Even for the earth leakage, it definitely will be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if there is no earthing connection itself, such type of things are not there, interlocking stuff.
Okay. I have seen for this S2O or SO2. No, I think S2O. I'm not able to recall the material name. It is highly flammable as well as toxic. Sorry?
Sulfur dioxide, SO2.
Not sulfur dioxide actually.
H2SO4.
No, not
H2S.
H2S4. It is now H2S4. I know, hydrogen sulfuric acid. It is start with S only, but it is very dangerous in nature. So there, I have seen this kind of setup actually. Once the vehicle comes into the loading point, unloading point, there they do attach the crocodile clips for the earthing. So
Tires,
once
like,
it is, so once it is synchronized, the earthing is properly connected, then only the pumps gets activated actually. And otherwise, the pumps, it will not start. That is the one control I have seen. It is basically about taking care of static electricity. Then corrosive substances is the all storage handling corrosive substance like acids and alkalis and other corrosive substances carried out or compiling with the following provisions like flooring of impervious material